I'm taking a little break from my technical writing project number 3. I've finished the text-based version of it. After a little while, maybe in a couple hours, I'll start working on the one with graphical additions. And I guess I wanted to make this video because it's been I'm feeling a bit melancholical, and maybe it's just the day. It's a little bit dark and rainy. It's been my only real free day that I've had in a few weeks, because I had a work appointment that we canceled because there was a shipping issue, so we couldn't meet with the client about some shoes, some dance shoes. And I was reflecting on the fact that not only has it been 1 month since I stopped smoking, I'm pretty sure. I might be off by a few days, but it feels like a month. And I've spent some time sharing some of my ideas and things about life with my friends. And I think some of them are a bit worried about me. Whether it's the fact that I'm extremely passionate about things that are going on in my life, or whether it's the fact that they're seeing a side of me that they haven't seen before, if ever. I'm not sure. But I still feel like the me that I always was. It's just that I've reached a stage where I'm able to express that self much more clearly and effectively. And so I wanted to do another tarot reading. The sort of question is, am I delusional about everything? Or am I thinking more clearly than ever? So yeah, that's the context. I don't know if I'll publish this yet. But I'll probably have to, regardless of what the cards say, for my own sense of honesty. Yeah, I just wanted to also express how grateful I am that all my hard work and dedication to the magnum opus that is my life has reached a point of fruition. Recently, everything has started to make a lot more sense. The reason why I self-sabotaged so many times before in my life was actually not out of a lack of knowing, but a deep subconscious knowing that much better things were ahead of me, and that I would be setting myself back, settling for let's just call them mediocre or subpar relationships or living situations. And I'm really grateful my higher self managed to interfere so effectively in my past self's life, even though my past self would mostly internally scream and cry and shake its fist at the world. It was all good for very good reason, and I'm eternally grateful. Also, if you want some musical context for this video, check out the song Angels, I think it's called, by the XX, and the song Shape of My Heart by Sting, which of course always makes me think of the tarot. And so let's pull some cards and let's see what they say. You know, so you can see a little bit more clearly. I don't spread them out. You know, they're shuffled. The first card is the Two of Wands, Dominion. Second card is the Four of Swords, Truce. And the third card is the Ten of Wands, Oppression. Man, these sound pretty intense already. This might be interesting. And as always, we're going to consult our good friend Angelus Arian. So, Two of Wands, the Two of Wands is a symbol of the state of dominion, balance, and integration. This symbol represents optimum balance of energy, or the sense of sovereignty, or being very comfortable with your domain, which is the root word of dominion. The sense of experiencing harmony and balance within your domain. This symbol illustrates the Tibetan dorjes, which are sacred power objects that have been unified. This is essentially a symbol of coming into your own power from deep within in a very balanced way, which is the principle of dominion. The symbol of power is also represented by the horses on the dorjes caps. The symbol of renewal, regeneration, and healing that comes from states of balance is represented by the serpents on the arrowheads of the dorjes. The astrological aspect of this card is Mars in Aries. Mars is the planet of vitality, energy, and assertion. Aries is the astrological symbol of exploration and pioneering. When you pull this card, it indicates that in the next 2 weeks or the next 2 months, that you will have the energy, like Mars, to move in new directions. Like Aries, from a place of integration, balance, and harmony, or the feeling of being on top of things. Basically, this is a symbol which indicates that you have the energy to move in new directions because you have attained a certain state of balance and harmony, or sovereignty within. The next card is the Four of Swords, Truce. The Four of Swords is the negotiating mind, the conflict/resolution mind, or the mediating mind. In order for any kind of negotiation to be successful, one must be open and flexible like the sign Jupiter at the top of this card, and committed to staying in balance and non-positional, which is represented by the sign of Libra at the bottom of the card. The truce-making process is a fourfold process, which is represented by the four swords and also the four tiers of the lotus blossom flower. The fourfold process is truce that's experienced on all four levels of consciousness, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically, which is also represented by the integrating four swords into the four tiers of the lotus blossom. Truce is an opportunity to move through conflictual issues, which is represented by all the webbing in the background of this card, and the states of complexity that need to be resolved. In order for negotiation or conflict resolution to be successful, there are four peaceful principles that come from native traditions, which is referred to as the fourfold way. In order for truth to be experienced, one must, first, show up. Second, pay attention. Third, tell the truth. And fourth, not be attached to outcome. When one is able to show up, pay attention, tell the truth, and not be attached to outcome, the results are renewal and regeneration, which is symbolized here by the yellow and the green colors on the card, representing regeneration and renewal. Green, from a very deep spiritual place, yellow. Whenever you pull this card, it can indicate in the next 4 weeks or the next 4 months there is opportunity for truce-making, conflict resolution, negotiation, and resolution with important issues or people in your life. You have the flexibility and expansiveness of Jupiter, and the centeredness and balance of Libra in which to accomplish resolution. I left out one sentence that didn't seem relevant. The Ten of Wands, oppression. I wonder what it'll say about that. The Ten of Wands is oppression. On this card, the two Tibetan dorjes, or the sacred spiritual power objects, are doled and grayed over, to symbolize the state of oppressing oneself, either through holding back, editing, or rehearsing oneself, or not fully expressing oneself, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, or physically. The astrological aspect on this card is Saturn in Sagittarius. Saturn is a planet of discipline and knowing one's limits and boundaries, as well as being able to set limits and boundaries. There may be a tendency to limit oneself or one's vision, which is represented by the astrological sign of Sagittarius. When you pull this card, it indicates that in the next 10 weeks or the next 10 months, it's important for you to release self-oppression patterns such as holding yourself back or restricting yourself in any way. It is also a reminder that in the next 10 weeks or the next 10 months, it is an appropriate time to begin to remove yourself from oppressive situations where you feel that you hold back or are not fully able to express all of who you are. The Ten of Wands could indicate the next 10 weeks or the next 10 months is a good time to release oppressive patterns that you developed with Sagittarius people in your life. Anyone born November 21st to December 21st. Basically, the Ten of Wands is the state of consciousness where you hold back your power. Wow. Well, I'll do my best to do that then.